Having the ability to scope out what you want your video game projects to look like is an incredible use case for creative AI technology. Everybody now has the ability to collaborate with creative tools to create spec trailers for video games that would have never existed otherwise. And so in this video tutorial, we're going to show you how you can create a platform-style video game trailer to communicate your creative vision with the outside world. And we've teamed up with Ludovit to make it happen. So I hope you enjoy this video tutorial. Let's hop in.
Hello guys, today I will walk you through how I made this.
Let's save our Viking princess. I should probably start running this way. Whoop! Whoa, that was close. Damn, there is a bear and a big one. Well, I think I'll try it tomorrow.
So bear with me and let's get to work. We begin our work in Midjourney. We need to prepare two things up front, and it's a map in which our character will move, and of course a character. I was thinking we could position it in Viking theme or something like that, but since this is not a real world project, we could get inspired along the way. So the first part will be the map. I usually start with getting an inspiration in search bar in Midjourney, where I will write like side scrolling game map, and we could look for something that might fit what we look for. And I was thinking something like this, not in case of art style, but the composition. We could also inspect the prompt and look for those strong words that could help us to craft a prompt that we will actually use. For example, here you can see it's a platformer game, maybe an interesting word. Layered trees, this is quite important. So I will start with side scrolling platformer game map design. Next, Viking themed in the forest, layered design. This is also quite useful, parallax friendly, so let's use that. And I think that this might be enough for the description of what we are looking for, and let's decide on the art style we will use. I'm thinking of 2D vector style. Let's get rid of this part, but I will keep this, since it's really important not to have any character in there, since map and a character will have their own movements, and I don't want to rotoscope it out of the map and then somehow fake back the missing pixels. I don't want to do that, so I will get rid of this, and let's use this as a parameter. Dash no characters UI elements, that's fine. Parallax friendly 2D vector style. For now I am good with that, and let's see what Midjourney offers. But since this approach is quite iterative, I really like to work on multiple areas all at once, and while our map is being generated, we can focus more on the character. I have found this image, which is something what we actually need, because we need our character in multiple poses, at least couple for the demo. And as you can see, a prompt is quite long and difficult, but we could play with it. Let's create, I don't know, 16-bit, that's not our style. Create a sprite sheet. This is really important part because such a layout is called sprite sheet, and it will be create a sprite sheet. We actually don't need the word create. Sprite sheet of Viking character, variety of movements, that's fine. Commonly seen in game development, good as well, including looking left. Maybe this part I will tweak to what I need, including standing still, running, jumping. Good enough for what we will need. The character should have a consistent design, that's fine. With clear pixelated features, we don't want that. Simple shape, vibrant colors, game aesthetics, let's keep this. The character should be Viking warrior, and since I don't have much more idea about what exactly the character should be, I can easily get rid of the rest, and let's hit generate. And here we can see what we got. This is something quite usable, but I still think this is too much influenced by perspective, and when I will somehow side scroll it, it won't look good. But it's a good start. Let's use this prompt once again and inspect it. Side scrolling platformer game. Here's a typo. Let's try also 3D perspective. I don't want that. And here we have our character, which is kind of what we might need, but it's too complex. I don't like this one. But let's build from this sprite sheet of a, let's use chubby, consistent, simple design, simple shapes, and let's not use any profile. This is something I'm quite happy with. I can maybe let it vary a couple of times and pick the best. Here is second round of our character, which is a bit closer, but we are still not there yet. I'm gonna open the prompt and let's find a good reference. Mobile game character. And after a while I have managed to find something that I think might work. Of course, it's a firefighter. We don't need this guy, but we can use the image as a style reference. Okay, so this generation did not go through. We need to find what's not working. Or I can do it different way. Let's use prompt and let's use image as a style reference, and we can hit generate. And this is something I'm quite happy with. I will run the prompt again, and once again I will use this image and get rid of the firefighter. It went too far with it, but I will keep this prompt open, and let's get back to side scrolling map. And this is the layout I am basically looking for, so I will use it as image prompt. I have a style prompt, and let's take a look at the next batch. We are quite close, but I will still need to somehow limit that 3D look. We'll try another one. Sprite sheet of a 2D vector chubby Viking character. Let's get rid of variety of movements, poses, including standing still, running, and jumping. I think we are already there. I'm happy with these 4. I can basically let it run one more time, maybe just to pick the one I really like the most, but I will stick with this style. I'm still not there with a character, so I will try without a style reference, but we can easily continue with what we have got here as a map environment. Right now I think that for our demo we might need maybe 3 or 4 images like that to put together, and I will do it right here in Midjourney. I can click edit and I will just expand the canvas so we have long enough environment to make our guy move, and we can hit submit. And here we have our latest version, which I think it's the best. I will do last round with copying the prompt and using this image as a style reference, and by now we can take a look at what we have got here. I don't want these areas to be somehow missing that logical path I want our character to somehow go through. I like this one the most, so I will upscale it. And as you can see, we have some guy here, but we will get rid of it in Photoshop quite easily and fast. Chubby young Viking. Okay, these guys are not that young, but I like this one. I will use it. I don't need to upscale it because I will maybe create other poses in ChatGPT. I don't want to force Midjourney to do the work where it's not the best for the job, but during the iterative stage, Midjourney is the best, I think so. I can just screen grab this guy, and here we are in ChatGPT, where we can paste our guy and ask him create a sprite sheet of this character. I want it to be in idle pose, run pose, jump, and that's it. We can get back to Midjourney for now, and we have already our image upscaled. We can download it, and here we have it in Photoshop. First thing first, we can get rid of this guy here, and he's gone. Right now, before our character sprite sheet will be done, we just need to think about what will happen in the demo. Our Viking needs to run a bit, jump over something, and then maybe stop, look around. Just a couple of seconds to showcase will be enough. Therefore, I am thinking here we might have a break in this path, maybe destroyed bridge. Almost. This is fine, but this black hole is not what we need. Let's remove it. Remove. And we are basically maybe good to go. And here we have it. Our character will run here, then it will jump and continue running. For the demo, it's way more than enough. Great. This is perfect. Just not complete. Hopefully Photoshop will fix it. Let's screen grab it, copy, expand the canvas, and hopefully it can introduce back that part of his arm which is missing. If not, we can probably do that in Midjourney or just do another run in ChatGPT, but we will see. Oh, fine. I'm happy with it. I think this is what we need. I like this hand, but I don't like this part. And here we have our guy in a couple of poses. If you would need a way more advanced demo, you would just follow these steps and do way more of such poses, but I think we are good to go with these. I will right now just copy 2 times and create separate image for each pose. Right now we have pose 1, then pose 2, and the jumping pose. jump, run, and standing still. Here I will probably get rid of casted shadows. I will introduce those back when we will move to After Effects. Right now they would only cause some complications probably, and I don't want to deal with it later, so I will rather do it right now. And we are ready to go. We need to export these images. So it's File, Export As. We can use JPEG, export, and we can create Viking folder so we stay organized. Viking idle, and of course we need our map here. So File, Export. Right now we don't need Midjourney anymore, probably, who knows, and we will move to video generation, and for that I will be using FreePic. Only thing we need here is to select the model that has keyframes, first and last one. Soon enough you will realize why. For now we can stick with auto, and I will hit start image, select the file, and let's use Viking idle, use image, and I will do Viking idle once again. FreePic has this enhanced prompt feature which is quite great. I just need to tweak it a bit. Dynamic close-up, I don't need that. A cartoon Viking character stands confidently with a fierce expression. Okay, fine. But in the beginning I want it to be a loop. The camera gently zooms. No way, I don't want that. Camera is still, locked position, and let's wait for the result. Now I need a second video, which will be from idle position to run. I will delete the end image and upload running. Now I don't need a loop because it will act as a transition. Stands confidently and starts to run. I don't need that fierce expression. Camera is still locked position, that's fine. Let's hit generate. Now I can get rid of the first image and open run image again, because this will act as a running loop. Loop motion of a cartoon Viking character, stands confidently, runs steadily, camera is still, lock position, generate. And now we need run to jump, jump to run again, and then run to idle. It's like a Tetris, you just need to somehow build it in your head first and then craft it here. So he is running, then he is going into a jump, run to jump, a loop motion of it's not a loop motion, runs into a jump, generate. Everything here is generating, therefore we are saving time with setting everything what we need up front, and then just maybe rerun a couple of times if the results won't be good. Right now I just switch from jump to run back again. A cartoon Viking character lands from jump into a run, and then we have run to standing still, run to idle. Stops his run and remains in idle position. And let's take a look at what we have got here. Nothing is happening here. I don't like that. Reuse. Maybe I need to prompt it with character looks around while standing. And we can hit generate, and I will delete this one so we stay organized. This is quite funny because he starts to run. He's talking. Not sure if he is swearing, but still quite usable. I will just maybe run it again. We will see how it looks. And it's like elimination phase. And this is run to jump, which is actually really good. I can download it. And this one is basically ticked off. Run to jump. And now the fun part begins. And we move to After Effects because here we put everything together. Full HD is fine. 24 FPS is also good enough. And let's open our assets here. I don't need actually images. Right now we need to sequence those video clips to create one fluent motion. So we will select run, run to jump, run to idle. We don't need a map, jump, idle, idle to run. Hopefully I did not forget any. And we will start with idle. We can let him talk what he needs to say. Then from idle, it should be idle to run. So his performance continues, and here he starts to run. Right now we need to add running phase, which somehow continues seamlessly, but it's too slow. Therefore we need to time stretch it. Let's try 30%. I think it's too fast. Let's use 50. Only after we put it all together we can see if those images somehow match in the motion of the hand, because here his right arm is moving forward, but when running it starts to move backwards again. However, this is just a demo, so you will forgive me. We need to let him run a bit longer, so we can maybe duplicate this running part maybe 3 times. Then he needs to jump, so it will be run to jump. Let's test it. And I like this part the most. It's only a bit slow, but no problem. Time stretch. Maybe 20. And right now, in the flying phase, we need to freeze the last frame, so he will remain in this position for a brief period of time, maybe. And down, so like this one. Then from jump to run. In here he was always talking something, so I will maybe cut it here and jump and lands. And right now it's run to idle. Maybe one more sequence of running here, or maybe even 2, because if I remember correctly, that map has some length after that bridge was broken. So So he jumps down, runs again, and stops. And we will finish with his idle monologue again. Most difficult part is done. For now, we need to pre-compose this. So we have just one footage. Then we will drop a map here. Maybe adjust the size. Maybe we can have a bit of safe space here. And I will create a new null object. Parent map to null object. So I have like a main controller of everything here. We have our guy here, and of course there is a white background. Easy fix. We can implement color key and key out white. Drag the tolerance a bit. I wouldn't go much further because this way it will probably remove even his beard, but there is a white seam still remaining. There is a quick fix for that, and it's called simple choker. Now you can just drag it until it disappears, and now you have a guy that. And here is quite funny part because his eyes are missing. That's not that much of a problem. We just need to duplicate this pre-composition, get rid of color key and mask only eyes. Let's use opacity. So we get back to 0, and then when he will be talking again, here, let's get back to 100. Actually, we don't have a 0 here, we have 1, and it won't look good. We can parent that layer here, and the only thing left is just to adjust movement of the map to match what the guy is doing. First, let's somehow scale him down because he is too big. Let's place him maybe here in the middle, which is logical because we would probably expect some UI elements here and here, maybe down there. I can also parent our guy to main controller. So let's maybe move it a bit higher. And now we need just to paste it. So the map is here. Let's keyframe position and drag the slider to where he starts to run. And we need to find a spot where he jumps, which is here. And now we need to somehow test if the pace of a map somehow matches the speed of his run. I think it's too slow. Probably I will pre-compose these guys once again, parent it to null object, and this part needs to happen faster. This is the correct speed. The speed is correct, we just don't have our map long enough. But I think we can have a fix for that. easy fix. Let's duplicate it, scale, and we can inverse over x-axis. And let's somehow join these two images. I will parent our fake map to original map. I will find that start of the run spot, which is here, and move it somewhere here. I think it's quite right. So he will jump and lands. Right now, right here, we need to move it somewhere here. So jump, lands, and we need to, of course, make a guy move our vertical axis. Therefore, position, keyframe, same keyframe, and somewhere in the middle, we need to move him up. But he needs to jump fast, then slow down, and then speed up. We need a speed graph here, and probably it should look like this. Boom. Great. And let him talk. And here he starts to run. So let's get to our map, position, end of the run. Maybe somewhere here. Let's check the pace. It needs to be faster. Therefore, he needs to go somewhere here. But we don't have our map long enough, so I need to get rid of one running cycle probably. I will delete this one. Get back. I will check that underlying should be fine. Now I think we can easily make whole scene a bit larger. We can bump up the scale a bit, move the position up, maybe a little bit to the left, and let's watch it. I'm quite happy with it. I will therefore pre-compose it all into one composition. Somehow I think it needs to be a little bit faster. Right click, time stretch, and let's try maybe 80%. So this way we have more than 25 seconds of our demo. Right now it looks really good. I'm quite happy with it. It has its flaws, its bugs, but as a demo I think it's really usable to showcase in any occasion and build upon it, iterate, implement new movements, maybe another creature, new poses, new actions. But the only thing I am missing now is sound design. It's kind of bland right now. Therefore, if you invest a little bit of time and download some effects, ambient music, foliage sounds, and if you don't find any, you can let AI to generate something right for this purpose, just as I did. And if you do that, it can look like this.
Let's save our Viking princess. I should probably start running this way. Whoop! Whoa, that was close. Damn, there is a bear and a big one. Well, I think I'll try it tomorrow.
Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video tutorial, and if you want to see more tutorials like this, where we break down a very specific tech process inside of AI tools, be sure to let us know in the comments. And as always, you can like and subscribe here on the platform to get the latest tutorials directly here on YouTube. Now, I should note that if you want to learn how to use AI for filmmaking, advertising, or the larger creative world, be sure to check out our AI courses over at Curious Refuge. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you in the next one.